Some time ago, Wargaming released a video about Vehicle Balance 2.0, explaining their intentions to completely overhaul the game balance. While I would normally receive this kind of news with enthusiasm, I've instead received it with doubt and skepticism. A new approach to the game's balance is something that has been needed for a while now, and what Anton Pankov claims Wargaming is going to do would seem like the appropriate response to that. But how long is it really going to take them to do all this? The more observant viewer will note that no deadlines for any of the things mentioned in the video were given. What this means is that the video comes off more as an update on ideas the developers are brainstorming rather than an actual promise, an initial idea of how to deal with the current state of the game's balance rather than a real plan of action. To explain why I feel this way, let's talk about the sound and physics update. Those of you who know me or follow my stream may already know that I was critical of the recent sound and physics update. I was firstly critical of the fact that the sound and physics update contained no significant gameplay changes aside from that. But more importantly, while I did welcome the new physics and sounds, they were too little, too late in my opinion. The viewers among you who are newer to the game may be inclined to think that I'm acting a bit entitled here, but before you do, I'd like to show you the following.
The World of Tanks development team continued improving our project throughout 2013. Now it's time to shed some light on the details of the progress we're making. We've been experimenting with this system for more than a year. All destructible buildings have been remade. Wooden houses break into logs. Frail huts fall into pieces. Brick walls crack along the brickwork joints. All this became possible due to the introduction of the Havoc physics engine.
We decided to go further and provide vehicles with physically correct behavior. Now all elements of tanks, including side panels, antennas, and chains, naturally rock and dangle when vehicles are moving. They can be lost during combat action.
With the introduction of client physics, what players have long wanted will finally come true. World of Tanks will utilize multiple processor cores. Havoc will take full advantage of the computing power of multi-core processors. Our work making vehicles behave more realistically led to the development of a new model of tank's powertrain. This model simulates the work of the whole mechanism from clutch to wheels. Even mechanical losses are taken into account. Transmission gears change when a vehicle is on the move. Now, tanks behave like real combat vehicles to the last detail. And finally, there is another feature that will affect the behavior of tanks. Now, they can flip over. Wow! We could have implemented this feature long ago, together with falling off the hills.
Unfortunately, the game wasn't ready for this then, for such an advanced technology. Advanced technology, advanced technology, advanced technology, advanced technology, advanced technology, advanced technology.
These clips were taken from a developer Diaries video detailing the dev team's work on the new physics and vehicle handling characteristics, a video which Wargaming posted 2 years ago. If what they said in the video is true, and the physics had then been in development for about a year, that would mean that it's taken Wargaming 3 years to finally deliver the new physics. Of course, I use the word new only as a relative term to the old physics, since the new and improved physics feel neither considerably new nor greatly improved, and instead feel more like the old physics with various governing restrictions such as the maximum rolling angle removed.
Oh. Improved physics, boys! I can't move. I just can't fucking move.
It's frustrating seeing a video boasting about fancy dynamic physics and proper multi-core support among other things, knowing that 2 years later only a small fraction of these features have actually been implemented. I would love to go after Wargaming for failing to fulfill their promises, but technically speaking I can't. Never over the course of the Developer Diaries video does anyone mention even an estimated deadline for all the features they show off. In a way, the video is Wargaming having their cake and eating it too. They get to show off all the fancy new things they're working on and generate hype and enthusiasm about it, but if anyone would want to call them out in the coming years for never releasing any of the content, they wouldn't be able to since they never technically promised any of it. Wargaming conveniently dances around the issue of implementation so they can make it look like they're ready to take the game in crazy new directions without actually committing to anything. With all this in mind, the Balance 2.0 video doesn't have me feeling hopeful. Much like the physics video from 2 years ago, there's no solid deadlines or promises that anything major is going to happen to the game anytime soon. I can't say for certain that Wargaming won't do anything, however, given their track record, I'm going to remain skeptical until they finally, if ever, prove my suspicions wrong.